So somebody threw a carrot at my car when I was just sitting in the parking lot at school, and it just smacked my roof and I was flipped out on them, so yeah, sucks. Hey guys, Speed Addict here. I just want to make a little video for you guys. I'm gonna be changing my spark plugs for my 2007 Honda Civic Si. This is a general guide of how to change your spark plugs for any car, but more specifically, you have an 8th gen Civic like this. If you're wondering why I'm recording inside, it's because I have very good lighting in here, which is an important factor of doing spark plugs because you want to be able to see your engine bay. And outside, it's very dark, so that's not good. You don't want to do this in the dark. You want to make sure you can see everything you're doing. She's dirty. I gotta clean her soon. So I'm gonna be using NGK laser iridium spark plugs. The code for these, if you have a 2007 Civic Si or an 8th gen Si like this, is IFR7G11KS. And then the numbers are 7746. You wanna find the right spark plugs for your car, because if you don't have the right ones, it's not gonna run right. So another brand for SIs like this are Denzos. I forgot exactly what they are, but they're in the owner's manual, and that's where I found these. So I ordered them on Amazon and they came a day later, so it's a good investment to increase the longevity of your life of your engine. So the equipment you're gonna need for this job is a 3/8 ratchet, a 3/8 ratchet extension, a flathead to pry up any fasteners, 10 mil socket, a 12 mil socket, a spark plug socket, and a torque wrench. You're gonna also need a bowl or something like that to hold your screws or any fasteners that you have, and most importantly, you're gonna need your spark plugs. You'll also need a good source of light. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is take off your fasteners if you have a Civic like this. There's 2 here. The previous owner lost the other one, so there's only 1 there. There was 1 here, but it fell off. And there's also 1 here and 1 here. That one is gone too. I sincerely don't know where these went. Probably lost by the previous owner, but yeah. So you just start by taking this one off like that. Make sure you hold on to it because you don't want to drop it down in the engine bay. If you drop it down there, you might lose it, and that's no fun. So you want to make sure you drop these in a little safe space like that. As we said, this one's already off, so I don't have to take that off. So you just want to take this one off very carefully also, like I said about the other ones. There you go, might take some effort. The next step is when you want to take off the windshield wiper guard. You want to make sure the windshield wipers are up. So to take this off, you're going to take this little seal off over here, and there's another one on this side. Once you get those 2 sides off, you're gonna take the seal in the middle off too. It takes some work because there's clips under there, and that's how it holds itself in. So you want to pry this up. So the clips are off now. So you're gonna pull this up, and it should come right off like that. So the next step is to detach the windshield washer fluid tube, and all you have to do is just work it a little bit and pull it off. The next step is to take this metal bar off right here. To take it off, there's 4 bolts on that side. There's 1 way back there in the dark. There's 1 in the middle. It's back there. It's kind of hard to reach. That's what you need your extension for. And there's 4 over here too. And there's 1 right there in the dark. For these bolts, you're gonna want the 10 mil socket. For the bolts in the back, you're gonna want the 12 mil. For this bolt in the back, you're gonna want the 3/8 extension, and you're gonna want the 10 mil socket again. You wanna make sure you wanna hold on to these because you don't wanna drop these down in the engine bay either. So that one's the longest bolt. That one might take you a while. It's kind of annoying to get back there, and it's very easy to drop the bolt, and you really don't wanna do that. So the next part you want to do is you just want to pull this off. It should come off really easy because everything's unbolted. Now you should have the entire back of the engine exposed, and it should be easy to access the coil packs and the spark plugs. For all these bolts on here, you're going to need your 10 mil socket. VTEC! Now your intake and your fuel rail and your injectors should be exposed. I forgot to mention, you want to make sure your battery's disconnected so you don't get shocked or anything malfunctions when you're taking out the spark plugs and putting the new ones in. Okay, now you're going to take this off, the cover. You don't actually have to take the front cover off. I just like doing it to make my life a little easier. And you're also gonna need a 10mm deep well socket so you can reach to some certain bolts inside of the engine near the coil packs. Now you're gonna wanna take off the 4 bolts holding down your coil packs. There's one there, a deep well one there, and a deep well one there. Now you want to make sure you want to pull up these coil packs and disconnect the sensors on all of them. Now you want to pull these out and make sure that you have them in the correct order and a nice safe place. Now you want to get the spark plugs out, get in there nice and deep. You want to make sure the socket grabs it and the rubber grabs it so it can pull it out. And there's the old one. Now this is what the old one looks like. This is a Denso and it's kind of worn out. I'm gonna pull the other 3 out and I'm gonna put the new ones in a minute. So here's the old ones. They're really worn out. And here's what a new one looks like. These are Densos. This is an NGK. So you can see the difference. It's a lot better. You wanna make sure that you torque down these spark plugs to about 15 to 20 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, you want to make sure that you thread these in by hand first, and then you're going to torque them down. Now we're going to torque these down. Now to put everything back together, you just got to reverse the process and you'll be fine. And then we're going to check if the spark plugs work properly. Alright, everything's back together. Now we're going to test to see if the spark plugs work. Well, turns out it's snowing. Okay, the moment of truth. Oh, looks like she works. She's mid. So we finally got her done. She's looking good, she's working well. Thank you for Mark's torque wrench. Helped out a lot. And Rebecca for helping film me. If you can do this, you can do a lot to your car. And I hope if you do this, you realize that you can do more than you think. So, it's a lot of fun. And I highly suggest you can try it. Definitely try this. Woo! Speed addict out!